friends! Welcome to day 11 of our 12 Days of Christmas unboxing and paint with me. Can't believe we're already on day 11. It's almost over. I'm feeling better today, thank goodness. And I've really been enjoying these lives with you. I'm actually feeling sad that it's coming to an end, and I'll probably end up doing more in the new year just because it's really been fun to connect with you. And I don't know why, like, I usually go through ruts of hating what I paint, not enjoying it, needing to take a break, but like the past 11 days, I've actually been excited to paint every day, and I've actually really enjoyed everything I've painted, which never happens. I don't know, you guys are inspiring to me. It's been fun. Maybe just painting Christmassy things is what I needed. But I really appreciate you all being here and kind of hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. So hopefully in the new year, I will do more of these if you guys are interested. And yeah, so today we're going to be painting a hot chocolate mug. Okay. So today I'm going to also show you how to transfer an image from printer paper to your watercolor paper, because I don't know about you, but I used to put my watercolor paper behind and go stand at a window and use it as a light box for the longest time. In a sketchbook, that can be pretty difficult to do. So I don't recommend it. And then I got a light box, and then I was doing it that way. But there's an easier way. So if you're part of my Patreon, for all of these 12 Days of Christmas sketches that I've shown you how to do, I've actually provided tracing pages over there at the lowest tier. So if you are not an artist where you like to sketch, I provide tracing pages if you need them. And it's $3 a month. That's Canadian, so I think it's like $2.50 American, to get 3 extra tutorials exclusive to Patreon each month, plus tracing pages for YouTube and Patreon tutorials. That just started in October, so from October to now and going forward. And you also get all my YouTube content ad-free, except these 12 days live, because they are live streams and I can't cut out ads. It doesn't work that way. But every other YouTube tutorial of mine is ad-free over there. So just letting you know. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to transfer an image, and then I will also show you how to draw this if you don't have the tracing page, obviously. But I know people have asked in the past how you can do that. So I'm going to show you both ways. But before we do, we are going to unbox day 11. So let's get you guys facing the other way. Ta-da! Okay. Day 11. All right. I think this one's my favorite looking box. The candy canes are so cute. And the way they arrange them. Okay, hold on. The only thing with this is that it's hard to get one box out sometimes. Sometimes you have to take out multiple boxes to get one box out. Okay. Day 11. Yeah, I love the candy cane box. It's so cute. All right. Let's take a look. Again, if you have purchased these boxes, the link to the exclusive tutorials that come with the 12 Days of Christmas calendar are in the lids inside in here that you just type into your internet browser, and then you can follow along with those tutorials as well. Okay, day 11, we have this custom brush case with my florals that I designed. I love the colors. It's so pretty. And it fits your brushes. I always suggest when you get new brushes, keep these specifically for travel. Just put it back on and try not to bend the bristles back. Okay, just helps protect them. That's not the right one. That's fine. But you get the gist. I don't know where the little one went. I don't know where that's from either. I tend to throw them away, but you really should keep them. This should keep it straight anyway, but there's a risk of like it bending. So I always keep the little covers, and you can fit your new brushes in there. You can fit some of your fine liners in there. And then all you do, flip this over, roll it up, tie the string around, and you have your carrying case, which I'm going to take to my in-laws during the holidays so I can paint and get away from the family. I'm kidding. Am I though? Kind of. Not really. I like to bring my stuff when I travel. So a little carrying case. I mean, we only have one more day left. So if you get the theme of the box, it is travel. All these items you can take, the little travel palette, the little travel sketchbook, a case, you know, take it on the go. That's kind of the theme of this box. And then you'll see tomorrow's, it all comes together and it makes sense. So yeah, so we have our little carrying case, which I do use these all the time when I'm traveling. I'm probably going to take this to my France trip with me. So there you go. All right. Day 11 is here. My desk is such a mess. It's ridiculous. All right. So thanks, Amy. I'm glad you like it. How cute is that box, though? I love this box. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of this thing. There's only one more day tomorrow. Quick little recap of things that we've got. We don't need to go too into it because I want to get into sketching and stuff. We got our sketchbook and the tutorials that come with the box. You can paint this wreath, this cute gnome, a landscape, some foliage. There are the cards. I was like, did I misplace them again? Those are cute. This winter scene. This fun line and wash toys ones. People were sending me their versions of this that they did from the box tutorial, and they're so cute. This one's a long one, but it's so much fun to do. This little Robin in the Snow, yesterday's nativity scene, and day 11 are these cute little line and wash stockings. So easy to do, but so fun. You could do it on a little card, anything. And then obviously the ones we've done here on YouTube, which you all have access to. And if you're part of my Patreon, you have tracing pages. Not for this one because you don't need a tracing page, but I have tracing images for these, the candles, I think the mistletoe, candy canes, the mittens, this little one, not this because this is just triangles, our gingerbread and our presents. And today is our mug. So I cut mine down. It was on a piece of paper. I cut it down to size just so I don't have this big piece of paper and it'll just be easier to see how I want to transfer it. But now I'm going to show you how to transfer it first, and then I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to draw it. Okay? So, excuse me, got my coffee. Don't stick my brush in my coffee. So far, I love everything in my box and I plan on using it on the go. Perfect. Yay. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. So when you are tracing or when you're transferring an image, I just realized this looks like poop. It's supposed to be whipped cream. It's supposed to be whipped cream, guys. But it looks like a piece of poop. Oh, my kids would love that. Okay. So when you're transferring an image, it's actually pretty easy. Usually I do it with tracing paper, but you don't need to. Well, let's see. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your printer paper. You are going to take a pencil that has like kind of soft graphite. This isn't a 10B, but I mean, any of them should work. And what you're going to do, you can kind of see the image behind. You're going to go over the whole image, just scribbling like so over all of those lines. Mostly just focusing on the lines, okay? Soft graphite pencil is a little bit better just because it transfers a little easier, but the other ones work too. And I'm putting it on its side just so I can get the majority of it. Okay. That's what you're going to do. Then you're going to take your image and you are going to place it on your paper. If you want to, you know what, actually I suggest, where did I put my tape? I'm going to tape it down just so it doesn't move. Just on one side. As long as you make it chocolate whipped cream. I'm going to make it white so it looks like whipped cream and not poop, but it just kind of occurred to me. It kind of looks like poop. Okay. Just going to tape down one side. Then you're going to take your pencil or a pen and you're just going to press down and trace over the image. All the lines. And you really want to press down because what it's doing is it's only pressing down on the line, so it's pushing that graphite that's on the back onto your image. Let's make sure. See? Ta-da! And I suggest you use like a pencil or a different color than this tracing image, just so you can see where you've already drawn. You know how you can see the pencil marks on top? Because you might forget a line or two. But you want to use a decent amount of pressure to get that graphite down on your paper. And yeah, definitely tape it to your sketchbook so it doesn't move around. And this is the easiest way to transfer an image. I can't believe for so long I was standing behind a window or in front of a window. Just ridiculous. You can also get transfer paper, which I do have and I've used before, and that's kind of the same deal. It's just like the graphite or the ink or whatever is already on the back. So you just put it down and it's kind of the same kind of deal. Then I'm going to show you how I freehand this, which might be funny. I'm trying my best to freehand it. I did this on my iPad, which I find a lot easier at times, just because I can erase and edit my drawings a lot easier, and you don't get the pencil marks from all the erasing that I do. Well, we're gonna see how I freehand it. Okay, and then the poo. Okay, I'll stop saying poo, I'm sorry. The whipped cream, and we're gonna put sprinkles on this thing too. Maybe if I don't go all the way around the line. Okay, let's see. Moment of truth. Ta-da! There we go. There is our image transferred. Okay. Ta-da! So easy. Sort of. Yes, that is easy. Now I'm going to show you how I would sketch it out, okay? Just so you have both options. I kind of don't want to do it in here. I'm going to do it because I want to use the sketch for the painting, just because it's going to look better than my freehand for sure. Okay, I'm going to just use... Oh, there's salt. I was like, what was that? Okay. I'm going to use just a paper in my sketchbook, and I'm going to look at the image. All right. Now let's look at this. So I always look for shapes in things first, okay? And the first obvious shape is this kind of oval. Okay, so I'm going to try an oval shape because we see a lot of the inside of the cup. And I like to go to make my ovals kind of perfect-ish. I like to go around a couple of times so that I can erase, and very, very lightly so you don't have like all this graphite left on there. And it just kind of gives you the best option so you can erase lines that don't, you know, that are a little too far in or a little too far out. Okay. Then the lip of the cup behind, you're going to see more of that because of the perspective. So you're just going to go around following that line. Again, if you need to go a couple times to perfect that. I like to lift my arm kind of off the table, maybe anchor like my elbow down, just really lightly. Now, if you hear a bunch of crying in the background, Miles is home from daycare today, and he's waking up from his nap, and he is not a morning person, or like an awake person. He loves his sleep, and so when he wakes up, he's usually a monster. Okay, and this is, can you transfer that image more than once? Yeah, you might need to apply a bit more graphite to the back, but you can definitely do it more than once. This one is a little bit more, like, I can already tell. This one you can see a little bit deeper in. So if I were to try and match it exactly, I would try and probably make this a little bit more circular, but nah, that's fine. Okay, then I notice it's like a bowl. So I want it to be kind of symmetrical. So I'm going to come down on both sides and just do this little U shape like that. It's not looking too bad. I feel like it needs to be a bit more circular, but that's okay. And then the handle is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you're going to come here. It's like an ear. But then you're going to cut off that ear right there. And then you're going to come like halfway and go underneath. And that's going to give you like an inner perspective for the cup, the handle. That's what I'm trying to say. And then here is going to be like a candy cane. So 2 lines on an angle, just kind of curve the top. It's going to be coming in the hot chocolate like that. And then you can do your cookies. Now, some of them are cookies and marshmallows. Like this cookie, you're going to see it overlapping the back here a bit to make it look like it's floating on top. Because if it's in here, it's going to make it look like the cup's on top of it, which wouldn't make sense. So you can do kind of like a star if you want to. If it's hard to kind of freehand a star, you could always go like that and then just trace around it. And then just erase the middle there. Okay. Sometimes that's easier. Like that. And then just go around it to get your cookie shape. Now this might be a little bit cut off because the lip of this side would be overlapping there. And then you're just going to put your marshmallows in. And again, some of them are going to be overlapping that back area there, just so it looks like they're floating on top. Like so. Our whipped cream. Okay. So you're going to do like kind of like a C shape if you look at it from the side. And then a smaller C shape. And a smaller one with a point. Doop. Then you have like a dollop of whipped cream here. And you can make it kind of like bumpier, so it's not so perfect looking. And then more marshmallows. Like that. Now, obviously, there's a lot that we need to erase. Oh, I think I hear a little monkey. Let's see what mood he's in. Oh, is he in a good mood? He's like, what is happening? What mommy doing?
Oh.
Hi, Grumpy.
I'll paint too.
You want to paint too?
Yeah.
Do you want to paint for one minute? Yeah. Can you say hi to everybody?
No.
No.
Look here. Go hi.
There's people. Miles isn't an awake person. He isn't. Although he's doing pretty well right now. Because usually he is miserable.
Oh, you should have saw him the first 10 minutes I was trying to get him out of his
Oh, I heard a little bit. Do you want to just paint for just 1 minute? Yeah. Okay. Here, look. I'm going to give you a brush. And you can paint on Mummy's. What color do you want? He's like, I want to do it.
Blue.
Blue? Ooh, that's like a lavender. Can you put it on the paper for me?
Where are you going to put it, bud? Oh, not on the...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just showing them how to draw.
Oh, okay.
You can color in my cup for me because I'm doing it on here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Mummy's coloring a hot chocolate cup.
Hot chocolate.
Do you like hot chocolate?
What that's sound?
That sound is a car.
That's an
outside.
obnoxious car.
Did you have a good sleep? Yeah. What did you dream about?
Cookie.
Cookies.
Miles, do you want Pokemon cookies?
Do you want Pokemon cookies downstairs? Look, everyone's saying, hi, Miles. I can't draw to save my life. What paper do you suggest for practicing painting and drawing? Painting, you're going to need watercolor paper, but drawing, I would just get a sketchbook. Like, get a dollar store sketchbook and practice. That's beautiful, babe.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful. Good job.
Look at the blue. Would you like some more? Just a little bit more? This is lavender. It's my favorite. Here.
You do it.
Can you paint the cup?
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Good job. Are you
Miles, do
gonna...
you want to go get some real marshmallows?
No, you don't like marshmallows, do you?
No, I like marshmallows.
What?
You don't.
You love marshmallows. I love you.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Mommy.
Bye, baby.
Mommy.
Bye. I love you.
Here, give mommy kisses. Nope. Okay. No. You give mommy high fives.
Oh, okay.
Wait, one more high five.
Okay. All right. Now let's go back to painting. And this is how you paint the hot chocolate. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Obviously, that was just our practice. But yeah, you're going to have to erase all the little lines inside and then make your drawing lighter as it is. Okay, I did it a little bit darker. I wouldn't recommend doing it this dark. because you want to paint over it, but that's basically how you draw it. Okay, so now we are going to paint our cup. Here's our transferred image. One second, I'm just gonna blow my nose. And I'm back. Okay. I can feel it like building up and I'm like, I don't want to cough. Okay. I also need to put my hair up. I'm like so hot in here today. Okay. So now we're going to paint here. So take creative liberty, pick whatever color cup you want. Honestly, it doesn't have to be the same as mine. Have fun with it. I'm going to show you some shading, different ways to shade. Where the heck did my eraser go? Oh, right here. So I would just lighten it up just a bit. I mean, it's pretty light as it is. It's a little tilted, which is bugging me, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna get my little palette out because this is what we have been using. Okay. All right. Now we can start painting. I'm just gonna clip this down. All right, so I think I'm gonna do a white cup because I like showing you how to paint white images because it's a little different, but you can, like I said, pick whatever color you want to do, and then we'll do like a pattern or something on it, something Christmassy. So for white, I like to tend to use a really light wash of indigo. If you want to make it more on the gray side, you can add a little bit of brown to your indigo and it neutralizes it like that. And all you're going to do to start is go over the cup here with your light wash of gray because it just makes it gray basically. Gotta make a bit more. Okay. And then again, we got to think about our light source. So where's our light coming from? So we know where to put our highlights and our shadows. So I would say like the light's going to be right on the front here, kind of like it's shooting down on the top. So the further this cup is away from the light, the more shadow we're going to see. So it's actually even a bit too gray. I'm trying to lift a little bit of that color. So our shadows are going to be more to the side. So I'm going to grab a little bit more color. And I'm going to go around the sides while it's still wet. Can you hear him screaming downstairs? He's in a mood. I'm going to do the inside of the cup a different color. Okay, and I'm just going to add that shadow mostly around the sides, like so. Okay, and we want a little bit more of that highlight right in the center. If it's still a little bit too gray, you can always just try and lift a little bit up just by washing and drying off your brush and just lift. I want it to be a little bit lighter towards the rim of the cup too. So I'm just trying to lift a little bit there and there. Most of our shadows are going to be down here. Okay, this is really driving me nuts that this is like tilted. Not a straight cup at all. Okay, and then for our handle here, again, start with your light wash over the whole thing. Okay, and the lightest part is going to be at the top here. And then under here is where it's going to be the darkest. Oh, that's a lot of color. Trying to get that medium gray. It's like half and half almost exactly. And it's going to be darkest down here. And we're going to do, I'm just going to add it now while it's still wet, but then we're going to sharpen it off a little bit after too. It's a little bit too blue. All right, and we will make it a little bit deeper. Just gonna add a little bit more color here just so it's not so light. The highlight should really be at the top there. Okay. There we go. Okay. Marshmallows would be hiding underneath the whipped cream too. Okay. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry, we can paint something else that is not touching those so they don't bleed together. This is driving me nuts too. Paint it over the line. Not being as careful as I should be. I could always go over it with white paint. You know how many times I do that? Take my bleed proof white and just like fix mistakes that way. Okay, so let's do the candy cane. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of this gray and I'm going to go over the candy cane. A lot of this stuff is actually going to be white in here, but we're going to shade it so it really pops. So the color that is on it is going to be like, it's going to be great. Okay, so we start with our light wash, and then you're going to take a little bit more color, and you're just going to add it while it's still wet to the sides. I just dried off my brush, and I'm just going to kind of lift some of that color in the middle, because I really want it to be darkest on the side. Today is a good lesson on, well, transferring an image, but also painting white objects, which is tricky. Okay. We can always add a bit more shadow later too. Then you're going to want to do the same thing for your marshmallows and stuff. So I would actually add, so I'm using indigo, oop, that's a lot, and burnt sienna. I would make it a bit more on the burnt sienna side. So the marshmallows are a little bit of a warmer gray. You know what I mean? They're like a brownie kind of gray. So it's just a little bit warmer of a gray. So I'm just going to really lighten that up. And I'm going to go over top even lighter. Okay, you just want like dirty water almost. I know this looks so unappealing right now with all this like gray and like brown. It will look really good though, I promise. It's going to look incredible, guys. I'm going to go over the marshmallows. We can always add highlights of white after too. If you end up going a little bit too dark on some things, like I feel like I'm going a little bit dark. Sometimes it's better to go, well, no, it's always better to go lighter than darker. If you feel like you're going too dark, lighten it up. Just add a little bit more water to your stuff, you know, your stuff, your paint. He's so miserable downstairs. He's at that stage, and I'm talking about Miles, obviously not Matt. Although Matt's probably like, oh my God, child, what do you want? He's at that stage where everything is no, and then, but he really does want things, and he just doesn't know what he wants, and so he says no to everything, but then gets mad when you don't give it to him. It's exhausting trying to figure out what this child wants. Okay. It's really fun. Do you want some milk? No. Okay. No, I want milk. Here's your milk. No. That's how it goes. Like about 10 times until he just gives up and then takes the milk. It's wild. Okay. So there's our gray marshmallows. Okay. While it's still wet, I might add a little bit more brown to the sides here. Or not brown, like just a slightly darker wash to the underside of a lot of these marshmallows. Okay, it's like that gray brown. Really light though. This is even too dark. I'm trying to take the most minimal amount of color we have. So I like wash off my brush, dry it, and I just pick up tiny, tiny amounts. Okay, and these little bits of shadow are really going to make it pop out at us and make it look 3D. I'm going to darken this one side of our whipped cream. And I'm just kind of getting all the bottom sides of the marshmallows here. Like that. Okay. And again, we can always add more shading after too. Once we add those sprinkles and stuff, it's going to be like, wow. So I'm just adding the tiniest amount. And remember, because of the perspective, we see more of the bottom of these marshmallowy cookie things. So that's why I'm adding more shadow at the bottom of them, or like the side. That one's a little bit harsh of a line, so I'm just washing off my brush, drying it, and just kind of blending out that line. Okay, and there we go. Okay, now go back to a part that is dry maybe, because this is now wet. I'm gonna go here, add a little bit more blue to my gray mixture, and I'm going to go on this line so it's underneath and add more shadow like so. I'm going to wash off my brush a bit, and I'm just going to blend in between here. So it's mostly dark right underneath there. And here. Okay. Like so, and we'll even add a little bit more shading on top after, but we want that to be dry first. Okay. Like that. I caught your cold. Oh no, Joanne. It's not my fault. You can't come through the computer, I promise. I promise. I can't hear him, but my 2-year-old is the same lately. I want everything but nothing. Maybe just a hug. Yeah, and I ask him, I'm like, do you want a hug? No. I'm like, okay. He just needs time. You know what he needs? He needs time and space sometimes, and that's okay. I get it. Sometimes I need time and space as well. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more shading to the bottom of this cup. So I'm just going in with a little bit more darkness there. See how that's very straight of a line. I'm just washing off my brush. I dried it, and now I'm just blending it out. Okay, just for a little bit more. All right, now we're going to do something that's not touching anything else that's dry. Actually, I can add a little bit more shading on the top here because that's kind of dry. Just a little bit. I'm gonna wash it off, dry, and just kind of blend out a bit. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna actually use my heat tool to dry it just so we can speed this up a little bit. Okay, now it's dry, and I'm going to do the inside of the cup, like the lip of the cup, not the hot chocolate. All this is going to be brown. I'm going to do the rim, which is going to be red. So I'm going to grab my red, and I'm going to carefully go around my cup, like so. The only thing with these kind of paintings is you need a little bit more of a steady hand to get those like little areas behind, which I know can be a little bit tricky. It's actually supposed to be brown there, isn't it? That's okay. I'm gonna cut it off there. But always just try your best. I know someday, like my hands are shakier than others. Like right now, I'm having a hard time just kind of making this kind of straight. Why? Like this. So, one of the troubles about using a heat tool, if you paint on your paper right after and the paper's still oh my god, the paper's still hot, I was trying to say wet and hot. The paper's still hot, like it's dry and it's hot. Sometimes the paint will dry really fast and it'll make it harder to apply. Like I can already see parts are starting to dry really quickly. So just keep that in mind if you use a heat tool. If it dries really fast when you paint, you might want to wait till it cools down a bit. I'm impatient, so I just don't really care, to be honest. I just make it work. But if you're ever wondering why that happens, it's because it's hot and it's dry, and so it dries the watercolor on top really fast. We're going to need to shade this red inside as well. And we're going to go around on the lip here too. You're just going to see a little bit of it. Okay. Like so. Just trying to make it a little bit brighter. All right, then I'm going to make a little bit of a darker red. So I'm going to grab my red. I'm going to grab a little bit of indigo. I usually like to darken it with green, but I'm going to use indigo. And I'm going to apply it closest to where the hot chocolate is. Like this, because there would be a bit of a shadow. Like that. Then I'm going to wash off my brush, dry it, and just kind of touch out that edge so it just blends out a bit. Like that. And if you want to make it even a little bit darker, grab a little bit more of your darker color, then just tap it in there. Okay. And then here, this side. Like that. Wash it off, dry on your paper towel, and then go back. Just blend out that edge. Okay. Add a little bit more here behind this candy cane. Like that, and then you should get kind of like a nice bit of a gradient. You should do some custom Emma mugs. That would be fun. What brand is your palette again, Emma, or is anyone in chat know this? What brand is in your palette? Paul Rubens, I think, is this one. I filled it up with tiny Paul Rubens professional ones. I can't remember all the names because some of them had... I just tried to find the fullest tubes. They're in the box, like in the, not subscription box, the calendar. I actually fill up this palette on camera when the day that you get this. I think it's day 2 or something. So yeah. Okay. Then let's do, while we're waiting for that to dry, let's do like a little pattern on the thing. I actually got this like from a picture on Pinterest, like of an actual mug and stuff. So that's where I got my idea. And it actually has a cute little like foliage pattern on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to grab some green. But even when you're doing a pattern on here, you're going to want to shade where it gets darker. So it's going to be the lightest here. So I'm going to do a little line and little things like that. And then as we get closer to the edge here, I'm going to make it darker. So it looks like it's in the shadow area. See that? And I might do one here. Poor Miles, he is throwing down. Poor Matt, he's just like, what is happening? Okay, and then this part's mostly in the shadow. So I'm going to make it darkest over here. And then I'm going to wash off my brush and just grab the light green and continue it a little bit lighter in this highlighted area. Subtle little things. See how it's darker over here and darker over here and lighter where the lightest part is? Little subtle things like that are going to make it pop. Okay. Okay, and I think that's good. I don't want too much on it, but let's do like some red berries or something. So I'm going to grab some red. I'm going to do a red berry over here. Maybe like half of one so it looks like it's part of the mug, like it's on the other side. Like that. And again, because it's in the shadowy part, we want to make it a bit darker. So I'm just going to mix it with my green or a little bit of indigo there. I can't believe all the colors have lasted in this palette for all the tutorials. Like I have done so many paintings with this little palette, with these tiny little bits of colors. Actually, another one here. And it's lasted the whole thing. I'm going to do one over here. Little berry there. Maybe over here. Here, and then a little bit of a lighter one up here. Like that. Like that. Maybe I'll do one more little sprig of something right there. It's looking a little sad. This center area. Like that. Okay. And there we go. Now we're going to do the hot chocolate inside. Or actually, yeah, let's do the hot chocolate inside. So I'm just going to grab my burnt sienna, and I have red and green in here. And honestly, I'm just going to mix it. Add a little bit of indigo to make it a little bit darker of a brown. Nice and chocolatey. And again, we're going to go just around all of these things. This is the trickiest part. It's just kind of like going around all these little objects carefully. Objects, marshmallows and stuff. Just the best you can. I'm going to add a little bit more indigo to one side because I'm going to grab a little bit of this darker brown. And just while it's still wet, I'm just going to tap it in to some of the areas as we go. See how this is coming to life, guys? A little bit more burnt sienna. I'm trying to keep it wet so we can go back in with some of that darker brown. So I can grab a little bit more indigo and then just tap, especially like under marshmallows and closest to the edge. I want there to be more of a shadow. So you get a little bit of like a two-tone brown in there. A little bit more Burnt sienna, keep going. And because you're going around so carefully, you kind of have to do it little bits at a time to add in the shadows, because it will dry, because you got to be careful and it takes time to go around. So I'm trying to put this brown in decently wet so I have enough time to go back and add those shadows. Okay. Trying to keep it wet. Like that, so I can go back in with our dark brown. Like this. Around the marshmallows, in those little crevices. Like that. Okay? Like that. Okay. Oops. Okay, and there we go. This should be good. And see how like everything looks white now, like the marshmallows and stuff? Looks pretty good. Okay, I gotta blow my nose. Hold on, I'm muting you. Okay, we're back. This is driving me a little nuts. I'm gonna smooth that out a bit. Okay. Now we will do a little bit more shading on the marshmallows in a minute, but I don't want to do it while the chocolate is still wet. So I'm going to do the candy cane. So now I'm going to grab some red, and I'm just going to do these little stripes on my candy cane, and we're going to shade this too. Just doing little stripes like this. And to make this look more 3D and rounded, we're going to add some darker red to the sides of it. So I'm going to grab my red, a little bit of indigo, oh, that's too much, a little bit more red, and I'm just going to tap it on the sides here, on either side. Now, the candy cane's kind of already dry. That's a really dark. So I'm going to wash off my brush, dry my brush on my paper towel, and I'm just going to blend those shadows out a bit because they're a little too dark. See how that makes it also 3D? Shading is everything. And we'll probably do a little highlight on it with white after as well. Okay. Now, I feel like the chocolate's pretty dry. I'm going to take just a really light wash of my brown here, more so of the burnt sienna. And I'm just going to kind of do really lightly, just a little bit of shadow on some of these marshmallows. And I'm just using my lighter brush just to separate some of those. And you'll see the underside of these star marshmallows, so I'm just doing them over here, here, here. Maybe blend it out a bit. This one, with this whipped cream, I want to add the shadows on the layers. Like that. Then blend it out. You're using like the most minimal amount of paint. Like tiny, tiny, tiny bits of paint. See how it looks white even though there's like a good amount of gray on it? And if there's like a marshmallow behind another marshmallow, so like this one is behind this, I'm going to shade behind here. So this one has a highlight here and that pops out. Like so. Okay. We're basically almost done here. I just want to add a little bit more just in here. I'll wash that off, wash off my brush, dry it, and just blend it out. I just want a little bit more shadow in there. I like that. Maybe a little bit more in here too. And some sprinkles on here. So make sure that's dry first. I'm gonna grab some green. And I'm just gonna do little sprinkles on the whipped cream. Do some green, do some red. If you really wanted to go a step further with even the sprinkles, you could grab like the tiniest bit of gray and do like a little tiny shadow under each sprinkle. If you're crazy enough to do that. Just like a tiny little shadow, barely any color. Excuse me. I'm going to take my gold as well. And I'm going to do some gold sprinkles too. Because why not? Like that. And then last but not least, I'm going to take my bleed proof white. This is my favorite white ink. Okay. And I'm going to add a tiny little, ooh, that's a lot. Tiny little highlight on the candy cane there. Maybe a little one on some of these marshmallows. A little bit on the rim. Like that. Okay, and then maybe like a little bit here. Just a oop, no, that's fine. Dabbed it too hard. It's all good. Blend it out. Like that. You could even do little highlights on some of these marshmallows. I would even go like, the marshmallows are pretty good for shading, but I would even probably go more intense with the shading on some of them. Like I feel like there could be more shading done. Like I could just keep going and going, like get it even darker. Like underneath some of these. Just make it really dark. That. See that? Tiniest little bits. And there you go. And if you wanted to, I'm going to mix this all up. A little bit of brown, a little bit of gray. I'm going to just do a light wash underneath the cup here with whatever color was in my palette. Then kind of come out, wash off my brush, dry it a little bit, just kind of blend it. You don't have to do this part, obviously, but if you want to, just so it doesn't look like it's floating in midair. A little bit more indigo, a little bit more. Ah! Shaky hand, shaky hand. Okay, there we go. Okay. Ah. Blend it out. I don't know if that made it worse. Might have. I feel like it needs to go up a little bit further. I don't know. If you're ever one of those people that like want to try something and you're too scared, I always say try it. Take a picture of what you do beforehand, just in case it does get ruined. Because chances are it might, but that's okay if it does. This is how you learn, right? Did I like it better without the stuff underneath? Yeah, I think so, but that's okay. This isn't being sold. This isn't being mass produced for anything. It's just a painting in my sketchbook. Right? And that's how you kind of have to think about it. It's more valuable to learn things than to not. Yeah, I don't like that, but that's okay. Maybe I go creative crazy and try to add a saucer. I was thinking about doing a saucer, and then I didn't because I was like, that's going to be too hard.
Mama.
What is he saying? Sorry, what was that? He said, that's beautiful, Mama. Thank you, baby. I love you. He's so sweet. That's beautiful, Mama. I love him. I mean, obviously. Okay. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's popping out. Look at that. I don't love the bottom, but that's fine. That's fine. That's what me take a picture and then ruin it. Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do sometimes. Because sometimes it will really work out. And then you'll be like, I can't believe I almost didn't do that. See, the only thing is that now this is like the handle is kind of blending into the background because it's so dark. So I'm like, do I go darker with the handle now? I don't know. But again, it's more valuable to learn by trying things than not. Unless you're doing like a project for someone. But if you're just like messing around, there is no harm. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that one today. That was fun. I feel like I should shade this a bit more. But I really enjoyed that. And I'm just having so much fun with you guys doing these. I'm learning a lot from myself. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah. Let's see. Face cam. Okay. So that's today's. What time is it? Well, it's been an hour. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's today's drawing, painting, thingamajigger. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow is day 12, guys. Tomorrow's our last day. The handle's not the focal point. Looks great. Thank you. That makes sense, right? And it doesn't matter. And I think the marshmallows are what make, like, look from far away. Well, actually, it looks better up close, I think. Because then you can see all the shading. But yeah, it's great. Okay, tomorrow is Thursday. I can do Thursday. Let's do 9:30 tomorrow for our last day. I feel like I get better in the morning, although this was fun. But yeah, 9:30 tomorrow for our last day for the 12 days. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. What are we painting tomorrow? I don't know what we're painting tomorrow. I don't know if I have anything scheduled specifically. What did I put on the thumbnail? Sometimes I just created the thumbnails and I was like, I don't know. Let me just see. Downloads. What did I put? I think it was like a stocking. But do we want to do a stocking? I might do a poll of some ideas. Did I do the Santa face? Let me think of some ideas. I think this is my best one yet. That's my mom, by the way. I'm going to call you after. I want to see your mug. So yeah, let me know if you want to in the comments what you would like to paint tomorrow to give me some ideas. That would be very helpful. And then we can kind of go from there. But yeah, 9:30 tomorrow morning for our last day. Yeah. Emma, your shading on your mugs look amazing. How do you decide where to put the shading? The shading, you have to come up with the light source first. So imagine in your mind of where the light would be shining onto the mug. Those are the areas where the light would be hitting it. And then anything that's furthest away from there is going to be where the shadows are. Also, sometimes it helps to look at a reference photo and just look at the natural shadows in things. So yeah. I vote for something else on stocking. Me too. Okay. This is the chat that you guys are talking in now. If you can, when the video's done, go into the comments and put an idea that you'd like to paint tomorrow, and then maybe I'll do a poll, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow, because I don't know. But I'd love to hear your ideas. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a wonderful afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. How did that happen? Yeah, have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.